a little over $300 million leaving the community just because potentially there aren't options or people aren't able to, or they're just not meeting the needs of our demographic.
How far does the 40,000 reach out to?
How far out to?
5,000? Yeah,
it's approximately, so if you go just past Bonds Grove Church Road, that's approximately 3 miles from downtown. So I think Rob will have some maps that might show closer. So, and it's important. Impacts economic development, community development, access to goods, and overall quality of life. And when you're kind of for obvious reasons, it impacts economic development, then I think a lot of times what people might not consider is the impact it has on community development. When you have, we've had so much growth in Waxhaw, which has been concentrated in the residential, on the residential side of things. It's been quality growth, it's been good, but going forward to be able to ensure that we're able to continue to provide the services that our citizens are looking for in terms of parks and other kind of amenities, we're going to need to make sure we diversify the tax base, and retail can be one piece of that puzzle. This all feeds into quality of life, of course. So we worked with the Economic Construction Committee, several members which are here tonight, Don Fisher and Earl Cook, Kim Angeli and Jane Hunt were also part of that discussion, and I really appreciate the help they provided us. They said through a lot of discussions, poring over a lot of data to come up with a recommendation here. We looked at ESRI data. We talked to other economic developers statewide, both in the Main Street community, but also in outside of the Main Street community, other municipalities as well, just to get their thoughts, explore different solutions, and look at how they have worked with retail recruitment in their municipalities. After those conversations, we decided it would indeed be the best route for Waxhaw to contract with the retail recruitment consultant. We interviewed 3, and we have unanimously, the DRC unanimously recommended the Buxton Company for reasons, several of which are listed here. Buxton is far and away the best in terms of analytics, the level of granularity that their data we found really valuable, especially with Waxhaw where we are right now. And they need to really understand who we are, who our citizens are, who the customers and the businesses we have are. They have the public and private expertise, having worked on both sides. And they focus not just on business recruitment, but they're also willing to be a partner and give us the tools to be a partner in business retention. So helping provide our existing retailers with tools they need to be able to improve their business, improve their product mix. So with that, unless you have any questions for me, we'll go ahead and let Rob Miller from Buxton come up and give you some more details.
Excellent, thank you for the introduction. Well, I think Kurt has kind of covered how we got to this point. Absolutely excited that the Economic Infrastructure Committee has chosen to put forward Buxton to help bring retail and attract retail to your community. What I'm hoping to achieve by this quick presentation here is to give you guys a background and understanding of who we are as a company and a high-level view of how we're going to help to attract the right type of retail to your community, but not just attract new retail, but help to bolster those local businesses that you guys already have. Keep that unique feel that you have at that you guys already have in your community, and keep those local dollars local. But we're a consumer analytics and market research firm. The ultimate goals that we're looking to achieve, and that we have achieved with over 700 communities across the nation, is to increase tax revenue, improve the quality of life for your current and also your future residents, and then work to retain local business, keep those local dollars local. One of the biggest reasons that I think the ultimate decision was made to put forward partnering with Buxton was we're not a developer or a broker. We're not just focusing solely on filling empty square footages. Being a consumer analytics firm, having access to apply our analytics to different aspects of your community outside of economic development. Absolutely, we're here to talk about economic development, retail, recruitment, business retention. There's a couple of other different focus areas where the analytics and the data that we have access to can be harnessed by your community. From city services, helping with libraries, planning parks and recreation, to looking at planning insights, to understand your leading movers and what that impact is going to be, especially on a growing community like you guys have here. We do work within visitor, helping communities to understand who's coming to their community as a tourist or a visitor and what their impact is. And then also we do work with about 300 hospital and urgent care clinics. So we're able to apply some of that data to help you guys understand what the supply and demand is from a healthcare perspective. Really what I want to focus in on is the economic development factor that we're going to bring. Helping you guys to be on the map in front of retailers, leverage our name, and ultimately recruit the right type of retail. So why Buxton? There's 4 key capabilities that we're going to bring that are going to allow us to make you guys successful. Our retail background, we're the trusted advisor to over 3,000 retailers, helping them to make site selection decisions. Our data and methodologies, when it comes to breadth and depth of data, nobody can compete with us here at Buxton. I know you guys have probably heard the term big data thrown around a lot over the last couple of years. We absolutely consider ourselves to be a data company, having access to big data. But at the end of the day, it's really about making sense of that data. So pulling big answers out of big data, and that's what we've done with the proven methodology that we have. Our Scout delivery platform allows you guys to look at your community and do retail recruitment in the palm of your hand at the touch of a button, putting you on the same page as over 3,000 major retailers that are using this exact same type of platform to make their site selection decisions. And then ultimately, the most important factor is our account management support. We're not coming in and running a study for you guys and then backing away. We're looking to be a trusted partner for your community that's going to help you guys down the line, lay out that long-term vision for what retail needs to look like in your community. So it's important to understand where we came from as a company. We've been in business for about 20 years now, really got our start, and to this day, the biggest thing we do is we help retailers make strategic site selection decisions. So we help brands like Marriott Hotels, Lowe's, Applebee's, Trader Joe's. We help them to understand what makes a good location for them and how do they avoid underperforming locations. And for us, our unique approach is not just looking purely on location. It's helping a retailer to understand they need to take a customer-centric approach when it comes to site selection. So identifying what does an Applebee's best customer look like? How does that individual live their life and spend their money? So that Applebee's can go out and find markets that have a high enough density of those best customers. A great example is our partnership with Trader Joe's. We started working with Trader Joe's when they were really just out in the California market. Their main goal was to break through and enter into the East Coast. Customers of Trader Joe's in San Francisco and Boston live their lives completely different. Could not be more different as consumers, but Trader Joe's needed to understand what would their core customer look like on the East Coast, in Boston, in Charlotte, in Washington, D.C. We helped Trader Joe's to do that. You've absolutely seen them explode across the United States. So it's this retail background that we've taken to help over 700 communities fill 40 million square feet of retail space over the last decade. Currently in North Carolina, we're working with Mount Holly on the other side of Charlotte, Thomasville, and also Faith. We've worked with about 20 communities in North Carolina over the last 10 years or so. So we really are excited to bring that proven track record of success to your community. So the ultimate goal that we're looking to do, harnessing the big data we have access to, all of the consumer analytical data that we have, to come up with a targeted list of retailers that is the best fit for your community. Retail recruitment is not something that You identify a need for a casual dining concept. You can't go out there and try to call 200 different casual dining concepts. That's not an efficient use of your time. You're going to be spinning your wheels because you don't know, does that brand locate in markets like ours? Are they looking to expand to our region of the country? So we know this type of information, and we use that to provide you guys with a targeted list of retailers. We want to understand who your citizens are as consumers. Where do they prefer to shop? Where are they going to go to buy their milk and eggs? What do they want to do on a Friday night? What type of restaurant do they prefer on a Friday night? Are they prefer to go to a Chili's, or would they prefer to go to P.F. Chang's? How frequently is there an opportunity for additional entertainment options? So using consumer analytical data to build profiles to understand your community better, to ultimately use that to match to retail. We also want to quantify your market in the same way that a retailer is going to. So speaking to that 5-mile radial ring that we talked about earlier, we're looking to look beyond political boundaries and put you guys in the best light possible in front of a retailer. So that's by using drive time. Retailers look at the market not based on political boundaries, not based on radio rings, but drive time. As consumers, we're convenience oriented. If you think about going to the grocery store, chances are you're going to think 5-minute drive as opposed to 2.5 miles away, right? So we want to look and evaluate your market in the same drive time that we know is associated with the retail brands that we're going to put you in touch with. So once we set those targets for you, our account management team is going to be there every step of the way, from setting up initial meetings with key decision makers with the retailers, to coming out to your community to sit in on some of those site visits, to be your retail expert while you guys tell that unique story of your community. Your success is ultimately our success as well as the firm. So we're looking to sit there and ride shotgun with you guys throughout that process of retail. It's not, like I said before, just a focus on bringing new business to your community. We also want to help local businesses. So we're going to be able to come out and engage with local businesses. We can hold a small business night where we'll come out, our account management team will come out and share some of that data, helping local businesses to understand who their customers are better. What type of marketing do those consumers prefer? Where are some of the opportunities in your market for local businesses to expand their footprint? So the Scout platform is how we're going to make all of the data that we have access to available to your community at the touch of a button. We're going to provide you guys with an iPad Air that's pre-uploaded with all of those retail matches. It's essentially your portal into Buxton. At the touch of a button, you can come in and run reports to help understand what type of products do your consumers prefer. Where are the opportunities for more market share in your community? What we're talking about is a proactive approach to retail. It's not sitting around and waiting for a retailer to request information from you guys and then furnishing it to them. It's setting those targets of who you should be speaking with and going out and proactively approaching them to plant your flag and say, we're open for business. At the same time, we do put you guys on the map in front of over 3,000 retailers through a program that we call City Seeking Retail. Every single one of our retail clients that uses us for site selection, they use the Scout platform as well. They're able to come in and pull up a layer in Scout that is going to show them all of the communities across the nation that are partnered with us here at Buxton that are open for business. So when a retailer comes in and they're looking for sites in Charlotte, they're going to see the flag planted of your community. You guys are open for business. Contact information is there. They're going to make that call. So it's extra visibility in front of over 3,000 retailers that we're going to provide you as well. So now that I've gone through an overview of what we're going to do and how we're going to do it and what some of the capabilities we have are, I just wanted to share a little bit of preliminary findings that I was able to pull up earlier this week, just to shed some light on what your market looks like and show you that there really is a dramatic opportunity for retail. So as we talked about earlier, political boundaries, you guys are right about just over 11,000 population. but looking at your market in the way that a retailer is going to, using a 15-minute drive time per trade area, your market is much closer to 90,000 strong. So instead of leading with, we're a bedroom community of Charlotte, 11,000 population, you're coming in and you're saying, look, if you cover this market, you've got 90,000 consumers to draw from. So each one of those dots up on the screen is a household within your market. Diving a little bit deeper to show you what we can pull up about some of those households, I looked at the highest groupings of like-minded individuals within that drive time that you see there. Made up about 28% of all households. The first group made up just under 17% of households. So some of the key traits of these individuals that make up one of the most dominant segments of your community. So these are prosperous, middle-aged, married couples with children, living child-focused lifestyles in the suburbs. They're very brand conscious when they go out and shop, conservative nature, and they really shop for convenience. So instead of driving to a Costco that may be 30 minutes away, they're really looking to go to that local grocery store and pick up their groceries once or 2 or 3 times a week. The next dominant segment that I looked at made up about 11% of your population within that drive time. So this is affluent couples and multi-generational families living a wide range of lifestyles in suburbia. They're seasoned travelers. They like to shop online. They're tech savvy. They're also very physically prudent. So to share some further details about that, these individuals, they're 1.4 times more likely to be college educated, 1.5 times more likely to play golf, and 3 times more likely than the average household to have a discretionary income, or discretionary spending between $26,000 and $30,000. So that leads to some significant opportunities with that level of discretionary income, making up such a large segment of your population. Leading us to a projected retail sales gap within that drive time over $700 million. Breaking it down a little bit further, we're able to see some of these subgroups that make up that projected leakage. So as you guys can see up here on the map and some of the data that I brought out, there's absolutely opportunity, especially in a growing market. You guys are expected to population growth 18% in the next 5 years. Absolutely is the type of community that we've been successful with, and we hope to bring that same level of success to you guys. At this point, I'd love to hear any questions that you guys might have.
I love it. I think basically what you're saying is just about everything leaks out of town. And now we got to get smart about what we want to bring back into town.
Absolutely.
As you do the math, divided by the 5,000 homes, we're right at that 26 to 30,000. I mean, we got to get real smart about what we want to bring. Unique.
Absolutely. And it's not just about filling an empty square footage.
Right.
That's why our approach is different, because you guys are going to be there every step of the process to create that strategy. We're tacking on 140 retail experts to your team to execute the vision that you have. So if you don't want more dollar stores, we're not going to match your dollar stores. If you only want to go after destination retailers, we'll only go after destination retailers. If you don't want fast food, we won't go after fast food. We're going to execute the vision that you lay out. But at the end of the day, we're not. If you guys say, look, Rob, we really want a Whole Foods. If you're not a match for a Whole Foods, we're going to tell you that. We're not going to throw pie in the sky. We're going to tell you that, and we're going to be able to tell you why. Not that you're not a fit, not that you're just not a fit for them, but why and how can you get there, right? So if you're not a fit for something you want now, how do we get to that?
So it's based on drive time. When Warren and Mr. Wood and Mr. Rory get Highway 16 fixed, we'll be able to go after more in a short period of time, right?
Yeah, so I mean, we use the 15-minute drive time on the presentation here. I know from discussions that occurred Chick-fil-A is something that would be a big one for you guys to get in the community. That's the drive time Chick-fil-A uses. Different retailers have different drive times associated, but that's why I use the 15-minute drive time for that.
So mine's for Warren. This is in front of us only because of the amount. If it was not, you would have already approved this.
I could have, this is of the magnitude, no, that I could have approved it, but I felt like it was important that everybody get the buy-in, get him in front of the board, ask questions, we're all on the same page, everybody's comfortable with what they're hearing, but I would like for the board to approve it.
You're in full support of it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one, I'm sorry. Well, just, the $700 million number, you're looking at our demographics, the income in this area, and the socioeconomics of this area. You're looking at other communities that you worked in. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is the opportunity in Waxhaw? I mean, are we a target-rich environment for retailers that we just haven't been able to tap into for some reason, or?
So before diving exactly into answering that, I think it's important to set the expectation that most communities do have leakage, right? So while there may be $700 million out there, that's not saying that in 3 years' time you guys are going to tap into $700 million worth of new sales. That's not realistic to expect. With that said, absolutely. A community that you guys remind me of, it's down in Texas. I don't know how familiar you are with the DFW market. It's called Salina, Texas. North Texas, DFW, North Dallas sprawl. They were a small community, 4,500 when we started partnering with them. We're 7 years down the line. They're 8,500 population. Their biggest thing was they knew Dallas was growing out towards them, and they didn't want to be passed over. They didn't want to be gobbled up by communities like Plano, McKinney, and Frisco. So they got the ball rolling, and they've landed 15 plus retailers at the time speaking with us, dramatically increased their population. I think you guys are in a similar sort of situation. Charlotte is, from even me driving out here tonight, there's a tremendous amount of construction, traffic with people heading out this direction. I mean, it's an excellent opportunity, and I'm extremely confident that you'll be very successful working.
Well, I got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Do you see anything that's totally negative against retail across the board?
That you're doing wrong? No, I wouldn't say anything that you're necessarily doing wrong. I think the difficult thing, the challenge that you have right now is if you're leading with a community like you guys are, the stage and track, if you're leading with our median household income is this, our population density is this, those basic numbers to a retailer might not convince you. They might say, look, you're going to be there in 2 or 3 years, but you're just not there yet. We're not ready to be there yet. What we're able to do is break down those barriers by actually drilling in and looking and comparing locations that those retailers have on the ground and show how similar are to some of those locations. So when we ran, and I actually with Kurt, I ran a preliminary match report for Chick-fil-A just to see how good of a fit you would be for Chick-fil-A. You guys match up very favorable with Chick-fil-A. The biggest hurdle for Chick-fil-A is just the population density that they're looking for. So it's about furnishing the right type of information to project the future, to get in. The first step is getting into discussions with the retailer, right? Getting into discussions with them and starting to break down some of those barriers. So absolutely there are some challenges, just associated with being on the periphery. Retailers know that the growth is going to get out there. It's just about painting that picture of what it's going to look like and what it's going to happen.
The other question I have is, do you see our opportunities for this, I just say, we really don't have any real retail space available immediately. It's all greenfield. Is that a problem?
Absolutely not.
Most retailers know that they're going to put this in.
Yep. So for a retailer, it is about speed to market, right? So retailers absolutely having shovel-ready sites, that's going to be a plus for a retailer. But that's why it's a targeted approach to understand what retailers do prefer to greenfield sites. Who wants to be that anchor in that new greenfield development? So that's absolutely not an issue. I'd say a bigger issue is the communities that we speak with that don't have any these sites with development that are strictly looking for infill and redevelopment projects, which we absolutely can work on. If you have vacancies, maybe it's a box that closed down recently. I'm not saying you specifically, but there are retailers that look to go into spots like that.
Have you ever worked with developers pairing their retailers? Because we have any space right now in town that's ready for development. It's just no activity because they're a bank.
Yeah.
They don't know how to develop.
So we absolutely encourage our community partners to have relationships with developers and brokers. We can help facilitate those relationships. We can even be the point of contact for you to speak with some of those developers. A project in Waxhaw, Texas, just south of Dallas, we just made it a $50 million development where the city is funding the partnership with us, but we're actually on that specific development working purely with the developer. So absolutely can help navigate those conversations.
So, your step 5 is creating marketing packages. We're changing the diversity in our housing. If you put the marketing package together today, it might look dramatically different than it will maybe a year or two from now as the apartments take off, the townhomes take off. How do you help us with that as we change our story?
Absolutely. So we typically try to engage with communities over a multi-year period. Retail recruitment is not an event, it's a process. So the first year, within 40 to 60 business days, you will have those targets set of the retailers, have all of the market validation on the Scout platform, ready to go out and hit the ground running speaking to those retailers. At the anniversary date, the start of the second year, we're going to do it all again. We can look at different sites, different trade areas, and provide you that next set of retailers. So that's going to be building over time as you guys continue to develop.
I like it a lot. Just want to throw my 2 cents in. In my professional life, we utilize a similar strategy to site select. But the data you provided is really sound methodology in which you use to select most of the sounds. I appreciate everyone's hard work. With that, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agreement for professional services between the town of Waxhaw and Boston effective today. As is presented here in the packet. Any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Looks like the ayes have it.
Excellent. Well, we're very excited to work with you
Welcome to
guys.
Waxhaw. Number 2, under new business. Discussion and possible action related to an annexation petition by petitioner Paula B. Hamilton for approximately 58.43 acres located off Elms Road, with portions at and near the intersection with Waxhaw Marvin Road. Our presenter this evening, our famous attorney, best in the world, Chapman Spencer.
This is going to be quick. Usually I don't present these, but the packet that you have is so large. It's over 100 pages. I think we can kind of simplify things. We haven't had an annexation in a while, and it's kind of a strange procedure because your only action tonight is really to commence the process and set it for a public hearing. And that's when there will actually be the discussion, the debate. So right now, it's if you're interested. The annexation petition that you had was also very long because it was a 10-page legal description, but it is correct. And one issue there was the declaration of vested rights was not checked off in the application earlier. I'm sure that has been updated. and there is no vested rights declared if you reviewed your packet earlier. And I believe if you want to move forward, your first step is resolution is to adopt the resolution requesting the firm to investigate the petition. Want to do that? There'll be a motion for that. And the applicant does have, there is a representative, I'm sorry, for applicants here. If you have any questions, most of those come up at the public hearing, but they wanted to be here